Good evening, traders. Welcome to our risk management session. Today we'll be speaking about risk management. We'll be taking a different approach towards risk management today, me and colleague Edwin. Edwin, you want to say hi?
Good evening, everyone.
Okay, so in our today's risk management approach, we want to look at it differently. We want to look at it from the perspective of a trading strategy. So we've been talking about having a stop loss, using a trailing stop, calculating the risk per trade that you have. Okay, but then how about if you evaluate the risk exposure that you get from your trading strategy? We won't be looking at, do you understand your strategy in terms of win rate? Do you know the risk reward that you generally get in your trading strategy? And you see, a trading strategy is also a key aspect of your risk management. If your trading strategy exposes you to a much higher probability of losing a trade, then it might be part of the source of the risk, right, that you're looking for one to tackle. So Edwin, you'll be taking us through to the next point where we look at win rate, okay, and risk reward. But before that, we also want to appreciate that consistency is what we are all looking out for, right? And you want to remove the perceptions, the wrong perceptions that you want to make money quick in these markets. It's always good to understand that it first of all starts with you building a skill. The way you build your profession over time, and you take much time to get the skills, develop your profession, get known, right? Build the experience. It's the same way you want to earn in this market by building new experience. Yeah. What do you say about that one, Edwin?
Yeah. So when we talk of consistency, it's not that you will not encounter losing trades. Far from it. Even the most professional or the most proficient traders, they lose money or they stumble on losing trades. So the question that you should be asking yourself as a trader, can you be able to trade in such a way that over time, your capital will have grown? So the whole idea, or ideally what you're trying to achieve, is to be at a place where you can be able to grow your account.
Simply, it's growth over time, right?
Exactly. Upon reaching a certain milestone, you should be able to compare your winners and losers and be at a point where the profit that you've made with all the profitable trades, regardless of the number that they are, should be able to offset all the loss that you've made. Whether your winners were more than losers, you should be net profitable at the end of the period under consideration.
Okay, basically it's just a process, right?
Yeah, so you're seeking growth over time. So this is sort of a long-term journey. It's a marathon. It's not a sprint. You're not getting into the market to make a huge amount of money within a short period. Because when you have such a mentality, then it means that you're more likely to overstretch your capital. And once you do so, then you're either going to dent your capital and lose a significant amount of money, or you would run the risk of losing the entire amount of capital. And when it comes to trading, it is of paramount importance to safeguard your capital. Safeguarding capital comes first, even before the profit, because if you don't have capital, then it means that you're out of business.
I mean,
so as a matter of priority, as a matter of priority, you have to trade in a sustainable manner, safeguard your capital, then identify the right strategy or the right technique to qualify your trades, then once you have those two in check, then profit would almost come automatically.
It's like having the tools of work, right? If you lose the tools of work, then how are you going to accomplish the work which is ahead of you?
Get the work done. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So when in the markets, of course, we are talking about you having the skill to analyze the market. You have a trading strategy, but then you need also to have capital. If you have got the skill and no capital because it's been eroded, then you've got nothing to place a trade that you've got a very nice setup. Yeah.
Yes.
So it's a process. That's what we need to embrace as traders. And it's something you need to practice over time and be patient. Just like if you want something good, doesn't come that easy. It's a process. So when you're talking about a process in trading, Edwin, is where someone wants to form kind of a habit, and a right habit in this case, right?
Yes.
I mentioned it previously in our Twitter spaces that the way, if you're working, for example, you wake up in the morning, you prepare yourself, you take breakfast, and you're well prepared to go to your job. Once you go to your job, then there's a way you would start. Maybe check out your emails, have one meeting here and there, and then then get committed to the main block in your job, right? So a trader as well starts with maybe checking out the economic calendar. Then after that, you look at your trading strategy. Do you see any setups? What are you expecting towards during the day? Okay, and that's what you want to check out on in a trading setup. What reward am I expecting, for instance? Yeah.
Yes.
So profits will come up. Yes, just like you said, profits will come up. The rewards will come up, but it has to be out of a scale which you've taken time to develop. And part of the scale will be understanding your strategy in and out in terms of the win rate, okay, and the risk to the reward. So part of the trading strategy that is leading us to once talking about risk management is on the risk reward bit, okay. Remember, mostly, and the most advisable way is where you're looking at your risk as a percentage of your capital, but then the reward is a multiple of the risk which you're taking, right?
Yes.
That's what takes us to the next level.
And at this point, before we move on, I think I'll pose a question to you.
Yes, please.
Now, assume that both of us are to start with a capital of 1,000 each. So each one of us would open an account and deposit $1,000. And assume we've not traded for long. We've not been in the market for long. If you were to be given two options, to either A, have a scenario where you're risking $20, targeting to make $40 in return.
So you said I'm risking 20.
You're risking 20, targeting a profit of 40. That is A.
That is A.
The other option would be to have you risk $50 and get a return of $100 upon that trade hitting take profit. Which one would you take among those two?
Well, the first case you've given me in percentage, the other one you give me in terms of money.
No, both of them are in terms of money.
So
A is a case where you're risking $20. So if the trade is to hit stop loss, you'd lose $20.
Okay.
But if you're lucky enough, or if that trade pans out,
I get $40.
You'd get $40 in return. That is option A. Option B would be to have you risk $50, targeting to make $100. And we both have a capital of 1,000 each in the account.
Well,
and we've not traded for long. Perhaps we've been in the markets for less than 3 months.
okay, the temptation here is to go for 50 because I'm looking forward to get 100. But when I look at what is more likely to be sustainable, and considering I don't have much experience in the market, I think I'll go for less risk for a lower target. Okay, because if then I'm new in the market, then it means that I've not quite much gotten hold of maybe the strategy, or maybe understood the markets a little quite much. So it's a little bit tricky, right? A little bit slippery, but I can manage. So I think I would go for 20 targets. Okay, 20 risk, which is a lower risk, $2 risk. Then target 40. Okay. And over time, if I get used to trading and I've mastered the skills, I've got everything in my fingertips, then I can go next to add the target and the risk. I don't know whether that's what you needed me to say.
No, it's not a tricky question. Why wouldn't you opt for B? Because again, if you hit a profit, I mean, you're making more. You'd make 100 instead of 40 for option A.
I think by the way, I'll give an example with what I say, what I tell my my clients when we're in the workshops. Like sometimes we want to consider the worst which can happen. So the worst which can happen in these two scenarios, with scenario A where you're losing 20, you're choosing to lose $20, and scenario B where you're choosing to lose $50. The worst which would happen in the two scenarios would be in case B, where if I lose 50, it will draw down my account bigger, right? Even if I'm looking for a bigger target. So it's all about protecting my capital more, just like you said previously. Then it's just looking at trying to reduce the worst which can happen when you're in a trade, and that is the amount which you can lose in every single trade. That's better, right?
I'm very impressed. I'm very impressed, Mathew. Yeah.
Okay.
Actually, you see, the problem with most traders is that most traders are fixated on the profit. Yeah. And it's not bad. I mean, we are all trading to make profit, but the fact that most traders are focusing more on the amount of money that they are likely to make, the profit, they tend to overlook the process of getting that profit in the first place. So they overlook the risk or the burden that they are taking with that trade. So this is to say that in this case, even myself, I'd opt for A. I'd rather risk 20, targeting 40, rather than go for 100 reward while risking 50. Now, I'm saying this due to the fact that most of our traders are fairly new, and given the case, the level of experience is quite low, and their ability or their acumen to select the right opportunities might not be as good as those traders who have been in the market for long. So that is one reason. Yeah.
I want to give it another perspective. That's very true, by the way, but I want to give it another perspective. There is the tendency of traders, whether new or experienced, tendency of traders to view this market as a place where you can just make money quite fast. You don't want to take it realistic. People become very unrealistic. And the simple example I give is, okay, we talked about $1,000 in our case, in the example. $1,000, if you do in terms of Kenya shillings, could be around 100K, maybe 120,000. Now, the thing is, if you have 100,000 and you put it in a business, in the normal outside there, maybe you open a business. You can give me examples, maybe a very executive barber shop or a very nice boutique for 100K. Every single day, what sales would someone be expecting to make, and out of that sales, how much revenue. That is for a business outside there. Okay. And let's take another scenario now where you invest the same 100,000 Kenya shilling, which is $1,000 approximately. I don't know the exchange. And you in a market where you've got a leverage of 1:200 or even to 400. What are the targets? How does the two scenarios compare? Are we realistic in both cases, or we tend to be realistic in one and then unrealistic in another one? So what happens that in a business scenario outside there, when you have a business of 120,000, which is $1,000, how much profit will you be targeting in a day and you're comfortable with, for instance, in terms of Kenya shillings?
If I was a businessman and I've invested
and you invested 100,000, outside there, and you have how much would you be targeting in a day? How much would you say it's not quite bad and not quite good outside there? It's something you're comfortable with making in a day?
Between 2,000 and 4,000.
2,000 and 4,000 in a day. It's good. Eh?
Yeah.
All right. So let's convert that 2,000 to dollars. That's around let's say $20 to $30. Yes. $20 to $30, right?
Yes.
Now let's take the same scenario on the side of forex trading, and you have $1,000 in your trading account. Is it easy for you to be targeting to keep a target of $30 or even $20 in a day, for instance? Although you would want, we might have different approaches in trading. You might want to target pips and not a specific amount, because not all days will go the same. But is it really easy to have a trader with $1,000 target $20, just $20, or even $30, having in mind 1,000 is possible to have a trade with a 0.1 lots? How easy is that? Do we remain realistic or things change?
For me, I'd say it's not that it's not possible for you to make $20 or even more than $20. But the fact that you're targeting that per day, then that's where that's why it might be tricky, because every other day in the market is different. Today you might have an opportunity.
Tomorrow you might
maybe
lack.
Just one. Tomorrow you might lack. On Wednesday you might, in fact, get 3 or 4 opportunities. So yeah, the market is dynamic in that regard. So I wouldn't say that targeting like $20 to $30 a day is practical. Yes, it's possible, but it's not practical in the sense that each day is totally different from the other.
Right. So before my point is lost, how about, let's say 20 pips, 20 to 30 pips a day? Let's say in two trades, one trade you get 15. Maybe someone takes, let's take a trader who takes who targets 2 trades in a day, and you're looking for let's say 40 pips in a day and 20 pips in one session, and then another 20 pips in another session. That one is possible, right?
It is. The probability is high for you to achieve that.
Right. And a trade of 0.1 or maybe a mini lot in all those 2 trades is possible with $1,000, right?
Yes.
Yeah, and that's when we'll convert to around the $30 that you're talking about. Okay.
Yeah.
So then, but when it comes to trading, a trader who has got like $1,000, you see that they want to take even bigger lots in the market and heavy targets in the market. Yeah, becomes a little bit unrealistic when it comes to trading, as compared to when you're doing business outside there. Yeah. And my persuasion is this, that we become realistic. Okay.
Yes.
Just having a modest target, it's going to bring down all the aspects of greed, all the aspects of feeling fear, the aspects of being revved up when in the markets. Okay. Yeah. And in that case, then it means a 5% risk per trade is possible. Yeah. Because actually, if I do just a 2% of 1,000, I'm getting 50.
Is it 50?
50. Yeah, it's 50. If I do 5 out of 100 multiplied by 1,000, that one gives me $50.
Yes, it's 50.
So actually, even having a lower target of even having a target of like 30 in a single trade is around 1.5% risk, right? Yeah. So in a nutshell, just to have this math of risk per trade actualize in trading, just being realistic. Like taking an example, like if you invest, if you're putting your money in the trade in Forex, just ask yourself, if I was putting this money in a business outside there, how much will I be comfortable? How much will I say that it's good if I get? That's my take on this, Edwin.
Okay.
Yeah.
I see.
So 2% per trade, that's okay. But of course, it's always allowed that someone can, it's not cast on stone. Someone can always change, right?
Yeah, again, it depends with the level of experience. So if you've been in the market for long, then there's a high chance that you'd be in a better position to select the right opportunities, far much better than somebody who has low level of experience.
Yeah, sure. From the first, right from the start, we say that for you to earn here, of course, you have to build the skills. And the skills, most of the time, they come from the experience. The more you stay in the markets, the more you see more. The more you learn more. Yeah.
Yes.
And I see you have some examples you want to show us in the next slide.
Yeah. So on average, most traders, or it's recommended for most traders to retain a risk per trade of less than 2%. More so when you're new to trading, because the other element is that the nature of the market is that you'd get random outcomes. Yeah. So when you're new as a trader, there's a high possibility that you might stumble on a series of losing trades. Chances are high, probability is high that you're more likely to stumble on a series of losing trades as compared to somebody who has been in the market for long.
Yeah.
So when you have adopted an approach where you're risking more, so like in this case, we are comparing two traders, yeah? The first trader A is risking 1% per 1%, has 1% risk based on the amount of capital. So both of them are starting with the same amount of capital, $10,000. So A is risking 1% per trade based on that capital. B, on the other hand, is risking 5%. So the assumption here is that if you are to assume a scenario where both traders are to stumble on losing trades, so the assumption here is that the first 10 trades will hit stop loss. That is the assumption. So
you'd have, because this is ideal case, eh?
Yes.
Usually having 10 losing trades in a row, not very possible. Yes, it can happen, but
yes, you can't miss a profitable trade. But this is just to bring out the whole point about risk when you're taking a huge risk. So you will notice that the balances at the close of the 10th trade would have A having more than 90% of the initial capital still intact. B, on the other hand, would have slightly less than 60%.
Quite a big disparity.
Quite a big disparity. So that actually shows you the effect of risking more. So when you're risking more, you're more likely to hemorrhage your capital without noticing. And I don't know whether this is true for you.
Yeah.
A case in point where you've lost so much money, there's always that temptation to trade more, to overtrade in order to recover what you've lost.
That's where all the mistakes starts catching up. That's where all the problems starts catching up, because it gets mental. Yeah.
Yes.
You're losing a lot. Now you want to recover. Revenge trading sets in. You want to recover. You start increasing the lot size. Everything goes haywire. So again, for a trader who wants to have a modest psychology on your trading, or a balanced mindset, take a small risk. And take a small risk. It doesn't cause any fear, because you know the worst which is going to happen is just a loss of around 1%. And that one won't make you scared. But now, if you lose, like in 5 trades, you've lost 500 times 4 is 2,000. Then that one starts messing up your psychology without even knowing, right?
Yes.
So yeah, I mean, the risk we take in the markets starts all the spiral in all the mistakes we do in trading. I don't know whether you realize that one, Edwin.
Yeah, it's true. When like now for B, he's more likely to go that slippery road where he would overtrade, trying to recover what he has lost. Not because he has gotten good opportunities to take, but in an effort to try and recover the amount. So once you dent your capital, you're more likely to be tempted to overtrade, and that is quite catastrophic, because you'll be trading more based on emotions rather than logic. So in this case, as it is right now, BA is more likely to grow his account much faster than B. Not just because he has more capital, but because I mean, he has more capital than B, so that is one. Then the other thing is that he is also able to take more trades at the same time. So the difference between these two traders is a whopping $3,000. So it means that A can be able to take many more opportunities as compared to B. So on average, A is losing $95. So it means that with that difference between their balances, he's at a better position to take many more chances. So what is the point? The point is, you'd rather take a minimal risk targeting, or you'd rather take a small amount of risk targeting to make a fairly small amount of profit, rather than have a very huge risk targeting to make an equally a big amount of profit, or overshooting the profit target and end up losing so much money in the process, because that is likely to affect your psychological state in trading.
Yeah, that's quite fair.
Yeah.
Right. So maybe as you're saying that trader A can accommodate more trades, let's look at other things that might not be visible. Actually, trader A has got more composure, probably, because they've not lost a lot.
Yeah.
Might not have gone into their nerves as much.
Yeah.
Yeah, and another perspective, trader B has got a lot to catch up, a lot more to catch up. Yeah.
Yes. And again, success has a lot to do with discipline, because when you're not disciplined, then you're more likely to veer off the right track, if I may put it that way. Then the other thing is risk to reward against win rate. So what do you understand by risk to reward, Matthew?
I mean, it's all about how much is at stakes. Yeah, how much is at stake?
Yes.
And what am I looking forward to get with what I'm putting at stake? Yeah.
Yes.
That is, when I'm talking about risk, is at the event where you're asking, what is the maximum which I can lose in this trade? What is the worst which can happen in this trade? I think we've lost the presentation, Edwin.
Yes, I'm just trying to demonstrate something. Just tell me once you're able to see the FX Pesa.
Okay. Yeah, it's visible platform. Now. It's visible now. So let me finish with the explanation. The risk is how much are you putting at stake in the event that it doesn't go the way you are expecting, and the reward is in the case where the trade panned out the way you were expecting, then how much are you looking for one to get? That's the reward or the target. Yeah.
Yes.
I think you want to show it to us on the platform.
So in the case of FX Pesa, it's quite easy for you. So when you talk about risk, we are talking about the amount of money that you'd lose once the trade hits stop loss. The reward, on the other hand, is the amount of money that you'd make when your trade hits take profit. So like in this case, if we set a stop loss of 50 pips, for this trade, we would make a loss of $50. If we set a take profit of 100, then we would be targeting to make $100. So in this case, our risk would be $50. That's the loss that we would incur.
That's the money
our
at
reward.
Stake.
Yes, the money at stake. Our reward, on the other hand, would be $100. That is what we are targeting as our profit.
Right. So Edwin, let me add a little bit. Remember we talked about the risk per trade. Okay.
Yes.
So when we talk about the risk per trade, and the risk amount is what we see there, like in the case of 50 pips. So that amount is what we are saying should not be more than a certain percentage. In our case, we recommend 2%. Yeah,
2% or less. Yeah,
exactly. That's 2% should be the amount that we see there.
Yes. So in this case, it's the value of the loss that you'd make. So it's a value on the stop loss side. So that is what you are saying your risk per trade is. So it's about keeping that risk consistent. So it's upon you to decide whether you will trade a large contract, in which case it would mean that you'd compromise on the level where you're targeting to set your stop loss, or you can forego to trade a very big size and you reduce the contract. And by reducing the contract, you will have the leeway to set your stop loss far away. So like in this case, if you have a risk to reward of $50, if at worst case scenario, you'd be targeting to lose an amount not exceeding 50, then it means that if you trade a small contract of 2 micro lots for euro-dollar, then you'd be in a position to set your stop loss as far as 250 pips away from the entry and still be within the same risk limit of $50. If you are to trade a contract of 0.1 to remain within your risk limit, then it means you need to reduce the number of pips to around 50. So it's upon you to decide how you will balance those two in order to be within the right level of risk.
Exactly, yeah.
Yes.
Right, so we're going to the win rate.
Yes, then when it comes to the win rate is the number. So like when you take a basket of trades, so let's say within a period of 6 months, you've taken 100 trades. So with win rate, you're asking yourself, out of 100 trades, how many trades ended up in profit in comparison to those trades that lost you money? So if you had 55 trades hitting take profit, out of 100 trades, then you would say that your win rate is 55%.
55%, yeah.
Yeah, so you're basically comparing the number of profitable trades in a basket of trades. So the trades that you make profit on are out of the total number of trades.
Sure. And here I see we have a lot to speak about when it comes to now the aspect of vetting your trading strategy, right?
Yes.
Of course, on the risk reward, it's always better if you can have the higher the reward compared to the risk, the better. Okay.
Yes.
But
yes.
again, it depends on the trading strategy. There are trading strategies that once you get a signal, it wouldn't be quite a very big move to get you many pips or a big movement.
Yes.
But it's something that you see you can get frequently, and your strategy most of the times might come up to give you something, right? And then there are cases where you would have a strategy that it's not easy to have the movement pan out, but when it comes up, then it can give you a very big reward, and that's where now we assess the trading strategy. Yeah.
I mean, it all boils down to how well you balance these two, because if most of your trades can hit take profit, then it means you're likely to have a higher win rate, right?
Sure.
Yeah, but in this case, all the boxes where we have P stands for profit. It means that you can be able to sustainably trade. It means that you can be able to grow your account. So where we have BE, it basically means that you're at break even. You're not growing, neither are you losing much, really. Then the boxes where we have L means that you're not profitable.
But a loss?
A loss, basically, your net
loss.
Yes. So the whole idea here is that we are trying to match different win rates with different reward to risk. So we are taking an example where you'd have a risk of $120 per trade. And we're asking ourselves, with different win rates and different reward to risks, what combination is likely to give you a profitable run, or how can you be able to know that you're in business, really? Because again, we say that this is like business. You'd want to be profitable long term. You'd want to be in the market for long and to be profitable. So in this case, if you're risking 120, targeting to make 120, so a reward to risk of 1:1 means that when you're risking 120, you're targeting to make at least 120 once the trade hits take profit. So with a 1:1, you need at least 6 out of 10 trades hitting take profit. So you need a win rate of 60%. To be at break even, you'd require a 50-50. 5 out of 10 trades have to hit take profit.
So before you move ahead, Edwin, I think I would want us to look into the situations that 1:1 risk reward and 50% win rate happens. This is where you have like many traders. You do not allow the trade to you do not get trades that are having big moves. You don't know what to allow the trades to move a little bit and give you more profits. This is where you have most traders who close the trades just before they actually reach the target. Yeah.
Yes.
If someone is having a trade and once you get some very little profit, you just close them. Yeah. There is no patience to wait for the trades to either hit the stop loss or take profit. Yeah, you're taking small profits. This is the most likely scenario where we have 1:1 risk reward and a 50% win rate, or even less than 50% win rate.
Yeah, it could even be worse, because I've dealt with quite a number of traders where they have a streak of winning trades, but when you look at the statement, you'll notice that it's very few losing trades that wipe out all that profit that they've made with the many trades. Yeah, so you could have so many winning trades, but you could have that one trade or 2 trades or 3 trades, which would sort of wipe out all that hard work that you've done making all that profit with so many trades, the small profits with so many trades. Yeah.
So maybe to correct that, it's to help such type of traders, because then I see for every situation here, if you note clearly, there is always the profitable. There's always the profitable balance. So the thing is, for those traders who have got so many winning trades, and then there is only one which wipes, it's because of tolerance. You're not patient enough to wait for the winning trades to just pan out even more. But then you're a little bit more tolerant to the losses. And one of the easiest mistake to point out there is probably not using a stop loss or pulling the stop loss away. That is the most likely mistakes. That's what someone wants to note and correct.
Yeah, there's always that temptation.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So in this case, if you have a 2:1, it means that you're basically targeting to make 240, a profit of 240 upon trade hitting take profit, and you'd lose 120. So for a 2:1 reward to risk, you need to have at least 4 trades hitting take profit, and you can survive with 6 trades hitting stop loss. With a 3:1, it means that you'd be targeting 360, risking 120. You'd need at least 30%. 3 out of 10 trades have to hit take profit. You can survive with 7 trades hitting stop loss. Mm-hmm. With a 4:1, you'll still need 3 out of 10 trades hitting take profit. And with just 20%, with 2 trades hitting take profit and 8 trades hitting stop loss, you can almost be at break even. You're not growing your account, neither are you losing much. And lastly, with a 5:1, if you have a very effective strategy where, and this mostly applies to position traders, there are people who are able to have a very huge target, yet the amount of risk that they're taking is quite small. So if you can afford to have a strategy where you can target a very huge profit, and at the same time, the amount of risk that you're taking is quite small, then it means that you don't require too many trades to hit take profit. So in this case, if you're targeting 600 with a risk of 120, it means that with just 2 trades out of 10, you can be profitable. So with this table, you can actually extrapolate it to have 100 trades. So in each of these boxes, you'll just need to multiply by 10, and you'll be able to see the amount of profit or loss, net profit or loss that you're likely to have. It will give you an idea of the amount of profit or loss that you're likely to make.
Nice one, Edwin. So I think with this approach of risk reward and win rate, it's something that traders can use to vet their trading strategies and know where they are placed. Where are you placed? Are you at the first case where there's 1:1 risk reward and 20% win rate? Where are you? And this one helps you to work on either looking for better setups, right, or adjusting your risk reward, okay, being a little bit patient, okay, and not holding on to losses up until one single trade wipes out all the profits that someone had made, right?
Yes.
And one thing I want to note again is that in every scenario here, whether you're having a 1:1 risk reward or 2:1 risk reward, or you're having a 20% win rate, at whichever win rate or whichever risk reward, there is a point where there's profits, where someone can be profitable.
Yes.
This one takes me to the question of which is the best trading strategy, and the question is answered here. Any trading strategy can be good depending on, have you understood where it is placed in terms of risk reward and the win rate? Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. And maybe the last thing I would want to extract from this example is the trades that you're taking, and in the light of over trading, you tend to realize that if someone can focus more on getting quality trades that can give a good reward to the risk, then it can be better. Yeah.
Yes.
As compared to a situation where a trader you're in the markets all through, and your strategy just shows you to keep on placing trades over and over and over, and most of them you might lose all of them, or you're now struggling to win a lot. How about focusing on quality setups that can give you just fewer trades, but good setups that can give you more reward?
And that answers the question that you always pose to me, Mathew.
Yeah.
So you always pose this question.
Mm-hmm.
I think, were you asking, I think it was something to the effect that I think you're asking what time frame is best to identify setups. And I told you that for me, I prefer to analyze the market on higher time frames. I get quality trade setups, which are likely to give me better runs. Like, you're likely to make a significant profit out of that trade. It's going to give you a good run.
Right on point. Yeah.
Yes. Rather than have so many opportunities, or try to take so many opportunities, and out of those opportunities, you're more likely to stumble on a bad trade, which can set you back quite far.
Quite on point.
Don't you think?
I agree on that. Yeah. Quality setup, better.
Because what you'll notice, like when you're analyzing on lower time frames, you're more likely to have a lower reward to risk.
Oh yeah, because the moves, because if you're targeting, if for example, if you're looking for a break of a trend, maybe in 5 minutes, 15 minutes, yes, you might get it, but you might get fewer pips. Right?
Yes.
Yeah. Fewer pips.
Which would translate to lower reward to risks. Yeah.
Lower reward. Yeah. But when it comes to the risk again, you see, you might as well be taking lower risk even on lower time frames. Okay, and looking at a bigger reward. Okay. Yeah. So, but when it comes to a big reward, of course, a higher time frame is what to go for.
Yeah, it's more likely to give you a good run.
Sure.
Yes,
a good run is
a very huge
good run
move.
is term.
Yes.
Good run is the term.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I'm looking on the chat here, and we have Super Broker Killer is really appreciating this, and we're happy that you're here and also listening to these sessions. We always feel good when we're engaging with you on these sessions. So thank you so much for taking your time, and of course keep improving. We hope you're going to use this information to analyze your trading strategy, not only the market, analyze your trading strategy in terms of the win rate and the risk reward, and work on either having quality setups that gives you bigger rewards as compared to the risk, or you want to be over trading, taking so many trades based on the setups, and you have to make sure that you've got so many winning trades. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Something to add, Edwin, on your end?
I think that's pretty much it. We've explained it all. Yeah, unless you have something to add.
Well, not much on my end. Maybe just mention a few events that we have lined up. This Saturday we have financial literacy in Eldoret, our Eldoret office. I will invite all of you. If you're listening to us from Eldoret, you're welcome to come. You're welcome to attend. As from 10 a.m. So be on 18th this Saturday, but it'll be happening as from 10 a.m. to 12. We want to speak about a little bit different topics, right? How you can earn, save, and invest, not only trading. Okay, so it's going to be a benefit to a wide array of traders. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think it's going to be streamed for those people who might be far. Is that right?
Sorry?
I believe it's going to be streamed for those people who might be far.
Yeah, we're going to live stream it on on Instagram. So if you want to check it live or watch it live, be on FX Pesa, what do we call it? Instagram. Yeah.
Yes.
All right, then I see a question here from Steven. Steven is saying he finds it easier to trade on lower time frames with minimal risk yeah, it's okay. You can choose lower time frames, but work on risk reward. But like Edwin, you had said, the higher the time frame, it's likely to get the better the run which you can get. Okay.
Yeah. The better, the higher the reward to risk.
Okay. So with that, then I think we will call it a session. You can follow us on our social media platforms and Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn. Yeah.
Yes.
Also Instagram and YouTube, and of course, like here, you that's the YouTube as well. I'm in Instagram and Twitter. You can follow me on Mathew_Kabere. Okay, both on Instagram and Twitter. We can take the conversations there. Occasionally, I will throw in some information about the markets. Edwin, your handles?
I'm in Twitter at Edigituko.
Okay.
Yes.
All right then, and at that point, call it a session. See you next time. Bye-bye.
All right.